Hello everyone, this is Parsakhatoon.J.Inamdar working as a biology lecturer in St. Joseph PU College. You will have an ample opportunity in learning from the treasure that I have gathered in my 17 years of experience in teaching. I have also an experience of teaching nationally and internationally. So today we'll learn a chapter, life process. The chapter is not new to you, my dear students, because already you have studied this chapter in your 10th standard. I hope this class will be considered as a revision class for you because you are going to appear a different kind of examination this year in the form of multiple choice questions. So this chapter or this class will give you an extra information to learn more about the life processes and score well during your board exams. So you can consider it as a revision class or an extra informative class. So without further ado, let me start to learn the chapter life processes. So what is life process? Write down processes which together perform the maintenance functions which are essential for sustaining life is called life process. I am repeating, processes which together perform the maintenance functions which are essential for sustaining life is called life processes. Life processes exist in both unicellular and multicellular life forms. So the life processes are going to exist in both, whether it is a unicellular organism or it is multicellular organism. So when you consider it is going to exist in the life form, so you should know what are the characteristics of life. So let me go to know the difference between living and non-living things. It's very basic, everybody knows it. Just recall your knowledge. Living things can move. They go for nutrition, excretion, growth, response, reproduction, sensitivity, transportation, etc. When you consider the non-living things, there is no movement or they are not alive. It is not taking, nutrition is not going to take place. There is no excretion, there is no growth, there is no respiration. Okay. There is no reproduction and there is no sensory organs present in the non-living things. So now, what is a living thing? Imagine that you are a space traveler who land on an unknown planet. How could you determine if what you are looking at is alive? Example, a rock, a blade of grasses, etc. So, whenever you look at these kind of things, you have to know by knowing the characteristics which I shown you before. That is the characteristics between living and non-living things. In the sense, living things will move, they will reproduce, they go for nutrition, etc. And the non-living things, they will not move, they will not go for reproduction, etc. In this way, you can consider which is living and non-living things. Now coming to our topic, that is nothing but what are life processes? What are the life forms or what are the life processes which you are going to see in this chapter? There are certain points which I have noted down. They are said to be the life processes, that is nutrition, transportation, respiration, excretion, synthesis, growth, regulation and reproduction. My dear students, you can consider these are the life forms, or in a simple way you can consider as nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, control and coordination, reproduction, growth and development, movement. All these words are not new to you. A simple trick I can give you to remember this as to remember these all life forms, whatever I have mentioned or whatever you have studied before, whichever is being mentioned in your textbook, you can remember as good morning to NCRT or NCERRT GM. This is the trick, a short trick to remember all these life forms. Fine. N stands for nutrition. C stands for control and coordination. E stands for excretion. R stands for reproduction. Another R stands for respiration. T stands for transportation. G stands for growth and development, and M stands for movement. I hope you got a point. So to remember all the life forms, you can say good morning NCERRT. Fine. So now the first word or the first life process which you saw was nutrition. Yes. So what is this nutrition? You are hearing this word. Nutrition. Nutrition is nothing but the food obtained or intake of the food, absorption of the food, or utilization or assimilation of food is called nutrition. It includes the activities like ingestion. Ingestion means taking in food, obtaining food from the environment, and digestion, that is process of food for use by the organism. It also includes egestion, that is removal of solid waste. My dear students, nutrition is nothing but you are going to obtain the food, you are going to take in the food, you are going to absorb the food, and you are going to utilize the food or assimilate the food. That is what we call it as nutrition. So now the question arises, like I said, living organisms grow. This is one of the most important characteristics of the living organism. So living organism need to grow. They need energy for living and growth. Correct? So this is accomplished by breaking down of the food to produce energy. So the nutrition is a process of obtaining food and changing it into a simple absorbable form. Correct? Am I right? The process of obtaining food and changing it into simple absorbable form is called nutrition. I hope you got it. So why do organisms need food? Why do we need food? For survival, correct? Food contain nutrients. The food contain nutrients. What kind of nutrients? It may be carbohydrates, it may be vitamins, proteins, fats, roughages, etc. So the food contain nutrients. They provide energy to us. Food provide energy to us. Food help in cell repair, cell growth, increase resistance against diseases. That is, it increases our immune system. So how do we obtain food will be the question mark. As I said, nutrition is nothing but obtaining food, and whatever we obtain the food has to change into simple form, absorbable form. Now the question arises, how do organisms obtain food? Correct? So we are going to see the mode of nutrition, different forms of the nutrition, like as I said, the nutrients like fat, carbohydrate, proteins are being utilized to get an energy. Fine? So now, my dear students, now we will be seeing how do organisms obtain food. There are different modes of nutrition. Everybody have studied in your 10th standard, like autotrophic mode of nutrition, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, holozoic type of nutrition. Okay? Different forms of nutrition you have seen. If you consider heterotrophic, again in that you are going to see saprophytic, parasitic, and if you consider holozoic, it may be herbivore, omnivore, carnivore, etc. So in our next class, we will be seeing in detail about all these forms of or modes of nutrition in our next class. Thank you, students. These are certain multiple choice questions which will help you to solve it in your board examination. So solve and send the answers to us. First one, I hope no need to read for you. You can read and send me the answers. Fine? Second question. Third one. This is the fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. 10th. See, the questions which I have given you is not completed in my class, but you have already studied it. So try out and get good marks. Thank you.